Yeah.
I like working with a second person. I need a little something. And you need a horse. They got to lead your horses too, you know? Mike, bring in his horse. Jaime and I, and Mike and I, but Jaime and I work together on this a lot. And you're going to give me the
Interesting color.
whip. This is a yearling, little gelding, never been loaded, and he hasn't had all this other stuff. So I thought, okay, he's a good one. So we would just walk this horse around for a minute and let him see stuff. Now Jaime's going to tie the doors back so there's not a problem. And first thing we'll do is desensitize, so that when he gets ready to go up by the trailer, he's not going to be afraid of me. So Mike's just going to lead him back and forth. And you can see his attention is on the people. So I figured, well, he'll be a good one because, you know, he hasn't been around much. He doesn't know what's going on much. He's going to be a real nice yearling. Okay. So who's doing this? Is this Jaime or Mike? Okay. Well then, whoever it is, do what I tell you to do. Yeah, give him time. Okay, Jaime, before we make any effort to get this colt in the trailer, you're going to just stand there with him facing the trailer, and I'm going to get him used to me as a second person. And Jaime's going to work with him for a minute to get him to relax his face. We teach a lot of them to put their heads down, because when they'll put their heads down, they'll relax. So, okay, just walk up there and let me start walking around him. That's good right there. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Just kind of face him at the trailer. I don't let him in. Now, a lot of horses want to go in a trailer. If they want to go in a trailer, believe me, if they want to go in the trailer, they are not going to get out of a trailer. This is true. If they won't go in the trailer, they'll probably get out of the trailer. So Jaime's just going to take a minute here. I can see this needs to happen. And I am going to sit down, which I do better than anybody in the world, and let that colt, do we tie in the trailer? Yes, I don't jubilation, I just throw him in the trailer. But all Jaime wants that horse to do is look down and see the trailer there. And he's going to fuss with him enough to get that done. Because if we try to go before that, the colt doesn't even know where he's looking. He's still totally involved with all of you. It's very important they learn to put their heads down. Otherwise, they don't know where they're going. They don't know what they're stepping into. Now, this isn't stuff that you're used to seeing. You don't see people go out and teach horses to put their heads down and look at where they're going to go. Okay, now I'm going to just add me into the picture here. And since he's kind of spooky to start off with, I'm just going to pet him. Because he's so involved with all of you. And then I make a big circle, kind of like balloon. And let him get used to the idea that I'm going to come from this side. And Jaime's kind of working on getting his head down. And I'll walk the big circle, and then I'll start going down his body. Give him a lot of room, no pressure. I dropped the whip. That would have been too much for him at that point. Now, another thing we would do is if we were seriously trying to do this, he would have got turned out. He would have been turned out to run and play so that he wasn't so nervous. We wouldn't be doing it in front of 400 people. Mm-hmm. But even so, you watch, we'll get this done. And by the way, you see me standing sideways here with my... So if he came pushing over hard, my shoulder is there to push me out of the way. I'm not frontal. I'm sideways. I go back sideways. And people can say, well, we don't have time to get them. This slows everything down. Now, because he's so involved with you folks, this is going to be a little more difficult because his attention span is really limited. And Jaime keeps trying to put his head down. Put your head down. Putting the head down is a very comforting thing for horses. It makes them, if they'll put their heads down, what they're saying is, we trust you. I'm going to just lay this whip over his back. Because the whip will be my guider. This is the way I'll guide him.
Yep.
Now the next thing we do would be to walk him away from the trailer. So he can relax a little bit and get away and not feel like that big white thing is going to get him. So we give him a minute to walk away, and then we'll bring him back up and do the same thing again. Things horses are really afraid of very often if you just walk away. He hasn't been through all of the stuff yet because he's just come to the barn. So he doesn't know about the stepping over the logs and the ball and I'm off. Notice I'm not up there close. And then I'll walk up. When Jaime gets him back in position here, I'll walk up. Now let Jaime get up there and put his head down again. Licking his lips, so he's beginning to relax a little bit. Okay, so now I'll walk up. It's all right. He's all right, guy. I've got the whip behind me because he saw it dragging. Oh, he's really watching this whip dragging. Hey, bud. Now we're being real careful. Both Jaime and I are being real careful. If this colt kicked, I would not spank him. I would not spank him. He does not know what we're talking about. I'm moving away. So he's just startled by the people, more startled by the people than he is by the trailer. He really doesn't even have a clue about the trailer, but he's very concerned about the people. Okay, let's go up again. Now I'm going to start walking forward, like a little pressure. And now I'm more to the back of him than I was. Before I was up to the side of it. Now I'm a little bit more to the back. And getting him used to me. Just because all I'm going to do with that whip is it's just going to be a guide. So now he's set up to begin to think about getting in the trailer. And he knows I'm right here, and I'm going to, so let's let him look in there a little bit. And if he puts a foot up, Jaime, we don't want him to go in. I'm going to walk away. He's walked forward 2 or 3 strides. I'm walking away. Take the pressure off. Take him out. And if you're going to load a horse that's this nervous because of all of this stuff, you better do it just like we're doing it. And I could have done one of the older horses that was really gentle, but then I thought, they're going to be too easy to do. Okay, Jaime, let's come back.
Oh, so nice.
Now notice also that we're not doing any clucking. None of that. No clucking. Just real quiet encouragement. Now I'm creating a little pressure by coming behind here. He sees me. Got it. We don't correct. No correcting. He could well kick at me. It'd be okay. He doesn't know this is wrong. This is that fly I was talking about. Walk away. Next time Jaime walk this direction. He's got a fly on him, but he'll have to live with that.
Here we go. Fly spray.
Yeah, that's all right. He'll just live with it. And I don't know if he knows what fly spray is. Now watch Edgar. He'll just go.
That's a Jaime. He has no dummy.
This colt will be 15, 2 or 3 when he gets grown. This is going to be a big boy. Okay, here I come again. Little pressure. Drops his tail so he knows I'm here. I'll get him. He's going to think about it. I'm going to stop. Okay. Walk away. Walk away because he dropped his head down just like he might make an effort. Okay, bring him back. Bring him back, honey, because these guys are getting hot. So we anyway, my foot.
All the water gone.
Now, it's as important to teach one to get out as to get in. So we want 1 foot. Don't want 2 feet, want 1 foot, and I want him to back out. Okay, that's good, honey. Let's go right back up there. Now, if he puts 2 front feet in that, it's okay. Back away. And usually we press on their necks rather than the halters so they don't throw their heads up to back out. Jaime's got their head down, so he's being careful about that. Okay, go walk around, short little walk, back you come. That's good, go right back in. Let's do 3 feet if you can. Yeah, I'm right here. I'm the pusher. Whoa, well, that's okay.
He's darny loaded.
I back away. You don't have 2 people going cluck, cluck, cluck. Now he's got to back out. It's a little harder when they haven't put one hind foot up. So Jaime now has to get him out. Has to learn how to do that. And we never turn them around. If you turn them around, they will turn around for the rest of their life. Thank you, man.
You're very welcome.
Very nice.
Oh, what a good boy.
Make your little circle. And we'll put him right back in. Let's go put him right back in. So I'm the pusher here, and he knows I take this whip and I flop it both ways. So he sees this behind him.
No, we do that. But how do you not?
So you
have
see,
them
you
come
can
out
take
face
a
first?
very nervous horse that's very shocked by everything around it. And if you just give it, if you do each step, then they can do this. If you try to skip steps of just getting them in there, or if you get them in by accident, consider yourself in trouble. So the backing out would have to improve. Before we turned him around, he'd have to back out easier. Is Jaime trying to back him out?
He has that calming voice.
So now go make a little turnaround and we'll go right in. He's so pleased he got it done. I survived. I lived. Now notice we don't correct him for that. People would. So now he understands. Little pressure, go forward. There's no trouble. You're not getting in any trouble. Everything's good. Okay, back him out, honey. Yeah, we would feed him, and also, if I had more time today, I'd close the one door. I would finish the project, although we all want to go home and get cleaned up and have dinner for the movie. But I'm going to do one more thing next time we put him in. And so this horse will never run out of a trailer. He knows how to come slowly out. And you can't hold a horse. If they're going to run out, give them a lot of rein. Don't try to hold because you can't. And often they'll slide underneath it. Okay, one more time we're going to do that, Jaime, and then I'm going to have you turn him around and bring him out frontwards. Okay, one little turn. Go this way this time. Okay, turn around and go right back. See how everybody does just what I tell them to do?
No. Patterned in. Falling backwards was key for him. I learned that because you're saying.
I've gotten more and more patient. Okay, let's go in. Okay, here comes me, the little pressure person again.
Kept coming out.
He doesn't want not so much of my pressure. So that's all he needed was for me to stand back and pat this thing. Okay, Jaime, turn him around and bring him out. And this is, what he's going to do now is paramount. Anytime you take a horse out of a trailer that hasn't been out before, you put their heads down. Otherwise, they fall out of the trailer and they hurt themselves. So you get them down where they can see where they're going. And actually, Jaime taught me this. He's trying to figure out how far it is. So taking a little time does not hurt anything. Now, Jaime, put him back in, and then I'm going to have you back him out. The two hind feet are going to come out, and then I'm going to have him get back in again so that he doesn't ever start thinking about wanting to come too far. So you put him in. Okay, now, when he comes back out, I'm going to have him come to where his hind feet are out, and he's moving backwards, but I'm going to have him step back up. If you have a horse that wants to run out of a trailer, you let them come to the end of where they're going to stop, and then you pop them right back in again, and that will slow down their running out. Okay, so come back out. And I'm careful not to get up there too close, because he knows I'm the pressure point. And I do not cluck. Okay, now, as soon as he gets that foot out, now I'm going to be the pressure person, and I'm going to put him back in. There we go. So, you could always stop if he started coming out too fast. So you haven't seen everything. We would do it until he would walk in and we do the sides and blah, 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 blah. But he was a good example for you because he was very nervous, very upset, couldn't concentrate. And it just goes to show you a little quiet work with somebody that's capable like you, like Jaime is, and you can have, the pressure person should tell the person that's handling the head just what they want them to do. And so in this position, I'm the kind of the boss. In another, if I was handling the head, it would be Jaime. And I like working with two. If you're not real good at it, it's easier to do. But do you get this business now? It's coming and going and relaxing and giving them a chance to know what they're doing and no corrections, no getting after. Okay, Jaime, that was great. Thank you. Wait till we get away. No, let's get him out of here first. Yeah. Yeah, ramp, sure. Now, see, he's ready to go back in. Can't get much more careful than that. So if somebody buys this colt, he's already trailer broke. Thank you, Jaime, that was great. So you've gotten some new stuff. You see how we handle horses on the ground in the sale arena today. It's a give and take. You've seen how we do the ball and everything else. You've seen this. It goes to show you how well you can do things and how comfortable you can make horses and how little you have to fight with them.